Welcome to our class on genetic disorders. This was created by Terry Cooper and adapted to this class as well. First, it includes history of genetic uh, research, and later it has examples of genetic disability. So first there was Gregor Mendel, a monk who studied inherited characteristics. This was followed by Francis Crick and James Watson, who unraveled the DNA molecule. This has led us to understanding the human genome sequence. Gregor Mendel was a doctor who published the results of his investigations of the inheritance of factors in pea plants. Rosalind Franklin and Maurice Wilkins discovered chemical structure of DNA, starting a new branch of science, molecular biology. Watson and Crick made a model of the DNA molecule and proved that genes determine heredity. Arthur Kornberg produced DNA in a test tube that led to describing of the genetic code. Now scientists are able to predict characteristics by studying DNA, and this also leads to genetic engineering and genetic counseling. Barbara McClintock was a Nobel Prize winner for her discovery that genes are able to change position in chromosomes. DNA fingerprinting was used in Portland, Oregon in the late 1980s, and this led us to the map of the human genome. Gene therapy was used in the 19th on patients for the first time, and then in mid-90s, Dr. Karen Moon discovered the PCR procedure for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize. Now we can use DNA testing that has been used, for example, in cases in forensics in O.J. Simpson trial. And what is very famous in genetics is that in 1997, the first clone was developed, and the first adult animal, Dolly the sheep, was artificially made. Human Genome Project is a thing that is a little worrisome, but also very, excited for some. So imagine a world in which we will be able to treat diseases by altering our very genes, giving us new ones if ours are non-functional, changing bad genes for good ones. For the first time in our existence, we are closer to understanding just what we are. We now have the tools to make the whole world better through science, the science of the human genome. Now, if I go back, this is worrisome for a lot of people with disabilities who do not want to be treated like they are any different, and they don't want to be cured by having their genes replaced. They oppose genetic testing of pregnant women because that might lead to people being killed pretty much before they are born. People with disabilities argue that we should not be sending a message that disability is a bad thing, and if we find out that someone will be born disabled, we should abort the fetus. There are many genetic disorders, and in your PowerPoint assignment, you will pick one and create your own PowerPoint on that condition. Here's a few examples. Mutations. Gene mutations can be either inherited from a parent or acquired. A hereditary mutation is a mistake that is present in the DNA of virtually all body cells. Hereditary mutations are also called germline mutations because the gene change exists in the reproductive cells and can be passed from generation to generation, from parent to newborn. Moreover, the mutation is copied every time body cells divide. Mutations occur all the time in every cell in the body. Each cell, however, has the remarkable ability to recognize mistakes and fix them before it passes them along to its descendants. But a cell's DNA repair mechanisms can fail, or be overwhelmed, or become less efficient with age. Over time, mistakes can accumulate. Now thinking about that, this may lead to disorders such as autism. Now scientists think that autism is caused by many alterations and mutations in genes. It's not caused by one gene, such as Down syndrome, but many of them. Down syndrome is caused by non-disjunction of the 21st chromosome. This means that the individual has trisomy, so three chromosomes, 21st chromosomes. Here's a picture of that. While there's always two chromosomes, the 21st spot has three of them. Here's some pictures of people with Down syndrome and some symptoms listed. So people with Down syndrome have smaller ears that usually fold over the top. They have small flattened nose, small mouth making tongue appear large, short neck, small hands with short fingers, low muscle tone, single deep crease across center of palm. They have loose joints, small skin that folds at the inner corners of their eyes, excessive space between first and second toe, and in addition, it may involve some degree of developmental disability from mild to severe. Another genetic disorder is Klinefelter syndrome, XXY, which is a disorder occurring due to non-disjunction of the X chromosome. The sperm is containing both X and Y, and that combines with an egg containing the X, and that results in a male child. The egg may contribute the extra X chromosome. So what happens is that people are actually born like males, but they have some development of breast tissue normally seen in females. They have little body hair, so female characteristics. They're typically tall and have small testes. Often they have infertility, which results from absence of sperm, and also there might or might not be some developmental disability. Here's how it looks like. We break down the genes. The last one has X, X, and Y. And here's some images of people. So they are male persons, but they have some female characteristics. Here's another picture of Klinefelter's syndrome. Turner's syndrome is associated with underdeveloped ovaries, short stature, web, and only appears in women. People have bull neck and broad chest. Individuals are sterile and lack expected secondary sexual characteristics. Developmentally, they are typical and there are no delays. This disorder is monogenic. And this is how it looks like. We break down the chromosomes. The last one is only X. Sickle cell anemia is an inherited chronic disease in which the red blood cells, normally disc-shaped, become crescent-shaped. As a result, they function abnormally and cause small blood clots. These clots give rise to recurrent painful episodes called sickle cell pain crisis. Sickle cell disease is most commonly found in African American population. The disease was discovered over 80 years ago but has not been given the attention it deserves. Cystic fibrosis is a monogenetic condition caused by deletion of only 3 bases on chromosome 7. People have fluid in their lungs and might have potential respiratory failure. It's very common among Caucasians. 1 in 20 are carriers of this disability. Tay-Sachs disease is monogenic, autosomal and recessive. The central nervous system degrades and ultimately that causes death. It is most common among people of Jewish and Eastern European descent. Muscular dystrophy is a disease when muscles of the body get weaker and weaker and slowly stop working because of a lack of a certain protein. This can be passed on by one or both parents depending on the form of muscular dystrophy. Therefore, it is autosomal dominant and recessive. You might know the muscular dystrophy association and telethon, the very famous and controversial fundraiser by Jerry Lewis for children with muscular dystrophy. Hemophilia is the oldest known hereditary bleeding disorder. It is caused by a recessive gene on the X chromosome. There are about 20,000 hemophilia patients in the United States, and what may happen is that one can bleed to death with small cuts. X-linked inheritance pedigree chart is shown on this picture. It shows Oh, I should say that if I go back, hemophilia is also known as the king's disease. It was very common in some queen and king generations and families. And here is the family of Victoria and Edward, and Victoria and Albert. Uh, and you can see how the hemophilia disease and disorder has been transmitted by this in this family. Huntington's disease is an inherited degenerative brain disorder which results in eventual loss of both mental and physical control. The disease is also known as Huntington's chorea. Chorea means dance-like movements, and it refers to the uncontrolled motions often associated with the disease that the body does. Next. Phenylketonuria, or PKU, is a metabolic disorder that results it happens when the PKU gene is inherited from both parents. It is caused by a deficiency of an enzyme which is necessary for proper metabolism of an amino acid called phenylalanine. Phenylalanine is an essential amino acid that is found in nearly all foods which contain protein, dairy products, nuts, beans, tofu, and so on. A low-protein diet must be followed. And what may happen is that if the diet is not followed, brain damage can occur, and it can also cause mental retardation and also mousy body odor. So people with phenylketonuria have to have a very strict diet free of phenylalanine. Another genetic disability is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or Lou Gehrig's disease. The disease strikes people between the ages of 40 and 70, and about 30,000 Americans have the disease at any given time. This is a monogenetic mutation and is believed to make a defective protein that is toxic to motor nerve cells. A common first symptom is a painless weakness in a hand, foot, arm, or leg. Other early symptoms include speech, swallowing, or walking difficulty. Adenoleukodystrophy is a rare inherited metabolic disorder. In this disease, the fatty covering on the nerve fibers in the brain is lost, and the adrenal gland degenerates, leading to progressive neurological disability and death. There was a movie called Lorenzo's Oil about a boy with ADL, so I recommend this movie if you want to find out more about this disease. Diabetes is another genetic disability when the body does not produce or properly use insulin. Insulin is a hormone that is needed to convert sugar, starches, and other food into energy needed for daily life. Genetic mutations can lead to type 1 diabetes, but no one is sure if it is relative to a specific gene. Type 1 diabetes reveals itself in childhood. Type 2 can be made worse from excessive lifestyle. Some warning signs include extreme thirst, blurry vision from time to time, frequent urination, unusual fatigue or drowsiness, unexplained weight loss. Diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure, blindness, and amputation in adults, and can also lead to heart disease. Color blindness is another genetic disability. It is X-linked and recessive. About 1 in 10 males have that, and 1 in 100 females have that. Individuals are usually unable to distinguish shades of red and shades of green. And to show them this picture, they would not be able to see the circle or the star. They would see it as green. Albinism is another genetic disability. People with albinism are unable to produce skin or eye pigments and are light sensitive. This disability is autosomal and recessive. Achondroplasia, or dwarfism, is another monogenic and autosomal genetic disorder. There's also a disease called gigantism, when people are just very, very large. Dwarfism is when people are very, very short. You might know some from some movies. Now, this was just an overview of some genetic disorders, and for your assignment, you are supposed to select the genetic disability of your choice, anything that you can come across, and create a PowerPoint with important information on that condition, as well as some images and links to internet resources and visuals. Good luck with that.